It's entertaining to me.
I understand.
That's all. What's the big deal?
I think you're very influential.
Who cares if kids start looking into flat Earth? Good. Start questioning shit. If you look into it and you have proof that it is round, instead of going, oh, some scientist figured it out, somebody figured it out, but you figure it out. You try to figure it out.
Okay.
You know the one thing that all we know that we don't need scientists to figure out is we know a couple things. A compass. A compass points to north. It doesn't need a battery. There's this force. No, I know. Let me explain. This is all we know. This is all we know. It's pointing to the north. It's a magnetic force in the north. That's all. We know that for sure. I don't need a scientist to confirm that. I know that there's a force in the north, some kind of magnetic force. What else don't I need a government scientist confirmation from? The North Star. It's right over the north. Let me finish. Let me just finish. The North Pole, the North Star, Polaris, is directly, coincidentally, over the North Pole where all the compasses are pointing. All the compasses are pointing to the North Pole. There's this magnetic force in the North Pole, and coincidentally, the Polaris.
Star is,
no, I'm just saying the Polaris is directly over the North Pole.
You know, there's been multiple North Stars.
Is Polaris directly above the North Pole?
Do you know that there's been more than one North Star over the history of the Earth?
Where'd you get that information from?
From the internet.
Exactly.
So you don't believe that, Eddie?
I don't know. I mean, is Polaris the North Star? Is Polaris the North Star?
Let me read this, please, because it'll explain. Right now, Earth's rotation axis happens to be pointing almost exactly at Polaris, but in the year 3000 BC, the North Star was a star called Thuban, also known as Alpha Draconis. And in about 13,000 years from now, the precession of the rotation axis will mean that the bright star Vega will be the North Star.
That's according to NASA.
That's according to every scientist that studies it, Eddie.
How do you know that?
Because that's why it's still up.
How do you know How do you know that? You just said some stuff you don't know. Every scientist
said I don't know. Listen, there's no dispute about this. I bet Jamie could pull up 100 different fucking things that'll show you the same thing
on the internet.
But it's not just on the internet, Eddie.
It's okay if you get information on the internet, but it's not okay if I get information. It's an information war. That's what it is.